Hey, Yinz guys and gals, gather around for a journey like no other. It's time to hop on board the Yinz Goin podcast. From the rivers that meet at the point to form downtown Pittsburgh, to the sheer face of Half Dome, to the furthest corners of the globe, Matt will be your compass, your confidant, your companion as we explore the wonders of travel. So sit back, relax on your couch, and let the wanderlust whoosh over Yinz as we discover new horizons and reminisce about old favorites. With Matt by our side, the sky's the limit. Join Matt on the Yinz Goin podcast because when it comes to travel, the journey's just getting started. And now, without further ado, let's give a shot for your guide through the highways and byways of travel. Your planning partner, the man with the map, Matt Schraeder. How you doing? Welcome to the Yinz Goin podcast. I'm Matt. I'm your host. Join me again this week is Elaine. We're going to finish our talk about her very first visit to Disneyland Resort. Enjoy.
Love the Matterhorn. Got to do the Matterhorn twice and could not. That was a big one on my list because when my dad was a kid, he was like, "Oh no, that was my favorite ride in the whole place." So that was very cool to get to go on. But A, did not realize how pitch black it was. B, I do not have to go to a chiropractor for a while after riding the Matterhorn. She
It's
is
like Space Mountain
rough.
with the roughness. Yeah, you get
Yes,
jerked
but
around a
it's
bit.
it's so cool and so fun and such a neat way to be indoor outdoor. A really cool way to like see parts of the park as well.
Oh yeah, when
Um,
you're up there. The
yeah,
first
it's so
tubular
neat.
steel roller coaster in the world.
Exactly. Hence the little splashdown to cool down like the brakes and everything, which I thought was neat. We actually got to ride the Matterhorn too while Paint the Night was happening at one point. That was magic.
Oh,
That was
cool.
so cool. But we got to do the same thing with the Mad Tea Party. I was like dying to do the Mad Tea Party at Disneyland because it is so beautiful. It's outside and they have the Mad Tea Party lanterns hanging from all this beautiful greenery. It's just so pretty and so different than what we have in Florida for obvious reasons. I mean, it rains all the time in Florida. They couldn't have it out there, otherwise it would never be open.
You'd have a
But
full teacup that you'd be
it
sitting in.
literally would
It
be
would
a
be,
full
hey, if you want a new wet ride, right there.
it would immediately turn into a water ride. It really would. So, but we got to do that at night when it's all lit up as Paint the Night was coming through. That was magic. Um, that whole little Alice mini land that they have in there with the Alice attraction as well is so charming. I love a dark ride. I love a classic dark ride. My husband also loves a classic dark ride. So we were very, very happy in their Fantasyland for sure. It was so nice to get to ride Snow White again, even though it's so different. Same thing with Mr. Toads. Like that was
Oh,
so nice to just
did you
get,
see
it
the
was like
Evil
seeing my
Queen?
friends. I did. I camped out for a second because I knew she was up there and I wanted to see her like peeking through the window above the entrance. So I caught her a couple of times. That's such a cool just addition that they didn't need to have, but they did anyway.
No, and the other thing
Love
with
that.
whenever I was out there the one time, I got to wish the Mad Hatter a merry unbirthday. That
A
he was
very
walking
merry
through,
birthday.
and I was like, 20 yards away, and he was, I'm 30-year-old whatever guy.
Yeah,
There's little kids who were like, it's the Mad, who are, and I'm not going to take their time, and I
of
don't need a
course.
picture with him, but I needed my interaction, so I yelled, "Merry on birthday!" Or no, I think I just yelled "Happy on birthday." He's like, "A very
Yeah,
merry on birthday to you too," and so I have it on video too, so I have my proof.
I love
But
that. I That's
the
fun to
other,
do. I
oh
love doing
yeah,
stuff like that.
the really cool thing out there is if you want to get your picture taken on the ride, they have
Mhm.
a ride vehicle outside of some of the attractions, like for Dumbo and the
Yes.
Mad Tea Party, that you can sit in that, so you don't have to worry about getting the picture while you're on the attraction. You
Mhm.
can sit out, get out front, and you can get my much better picture that's posed and closer and all that good stuff.
Which is lovely. That's such a nice like addition that they have out there. That was so smart. I love that whole little Alice Miniland. Just their Fantasyland in general is so it looks like a little
Oh,
like Bavarian village. It's so cute and so sweet.
Casey
Um,
Jr., the storybook canal boats.
yes,
Yeah,
I
there's so
loved
many
the
extra little
story.
things there.
It's just I would say their Fantasyland is extra special. Yes, we have new Fantasyland on the East Coast and it's so great, but man, the OG of it all is just it's so beautiful and
It
charming.
fits Disneyland 'cause it's
It
more
does.
cute and charming. Whereas
Yeah.
Walt Disney World, we have the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, which is a little more of a
Yes.
thrill ride, and you have
Yeah.
um yeah, it fits. Both of them fit
They do. You couldn't imagine either one in any other park. Like the theming and the retheming that they have done makes so much sense on each coast for sure. And
hmm
it's kind of nice that they're different because it makes them a little bit more special.
and something new to do when you go to a different park. A
Exactly.
reason
I'll
to
say
go to the other
too,
park.
right. I also felt the same way about their Adventureland. I love Disneyland's Adventureland. It's smaller. It like again, like everything else, the scale is a little bit smaller, so it feels a little bit more immersive. I also just love Adventureland in general, so I love that. But the railroad was a big push for me. I was excited to do the railroad and get to see the dioramas of, the Grand Canyon and then the primeval world, and that was so cool. Again, I remember seeing those on TV as a kid and wanting to experience those in person.
Or was at
The
the Ford Scott Motor Skyway or Ford Skyway, whatever,
Yes.
from the World's Fair. Yeah,
Yes, big World's Fair kid over here. Um, but then we were also lucky enough. I really wanted to do their Space Mountain because obviously that's the big difference is that theirs is side by side seating, and theirs is supposed to be a lot smoother because they have replaced the track more recently than we have on the East Coast. And we looked out and it was actually still Hyperspace Mountain while we
yes.
were there. So for a couple of my husband and I are both big Star Wars people. It was so cool to get to do that together and experience it like that with the music and everything. My husband loved that. That was so fun.
And for those who are unfamiliar, during, for Star Wars Day, May the 4th, and through like all the
Mhm,
month of May, they change it to Hyperspace Mountain, which is the typical Space Mountain ride, but they overlay it with Star Wars stuff. So you're going through and you hear comm chatter from X-Wing pilots in your ear.
mhm.
Watch out, Red
Yeah,
3, there's one in your tail. I got him, Red
yeah.
6. Watch, turn to
Admiral.
your left. And there's like projections of like a TIE pilot screaming by on the ceiling or a Star Destroyer in the distance. And
Yeah.
oh,
Admiral Akbar
I
does like the pre-show. It's it's really
oh yes, it is. I've gotten the chance to be out there doing it and to ride it. It is so amazing. That is
such a good overlay.
with that overlay, it's my favorite roller coaster. Well,
Agreed.
oh, definitely favorite in Disneyland.
Hmm.
Will it be better than Cosmic Rewind? That's a tough
Ooh, that's a tough one. That's
one
a
of
hard
each.
question.
Yeah. So
I love that. But in that same vein of Star Wars everything, so I have obviously gotten to do Galaxy's Edge in Florida. My husband has never gotten to experience it. And in the last few years, he's been very adamant about how he doesn't want any spoilers. So he has stayed very like blinders on about the whole thing. Their Batu is very similar. However, they are currently Disneyland specifically currently has the original trilogy characters. So Han and Luke and Leia. Chewie's always been there, but that has been very, very cool to see. And they've also switched over the background music to bits and pieces of the original John Williams score, which has been really, really cool. I enjoyed that. But by far the coolest thing was getting to see the original trilogy characters. I love Princess Leia very, very much. Like a lot of girls my age. She was very important to me growing up. I very much idolized her. I cried buckets when we lost Carrie Fisher. And actually, when
oh,
I got
one thing.
married,
Okay.
do what?
Go ahead. Keep going.
Oh, when I got married, I actually walked down the aisle to Leia's theme. So she's very important to me. And we were wandering around Batu one morning. It was very quiet. Nobody had really like it was still rope drop time. And Leia was just out and like walking about and chatting with children, and she spotted me and I was wearing I have Princess Leia Mickey ears that I was wearing, and I have a shirt that has Ewoks all over it. So I love Ewoks. I was very much the target audience for Ewoks, and it worked on me very quickly. But she walks over to me and she starts up this conversation, and it was one of those moments where I don't think it really matters how old you are. Like when your favorite character comes up and starts chatting with you, I was so excited and so happy. And my husband was funny. He's like, I wanted to like give you your moment, like let you chat with her. And we talked about her general training, and she was so funny. She walks over and she goes, I see that you're a part of the resilience, part of the rebellion. I was like, yes, I am. It was just so much fun to get to chat with her and take a picture. And then later on, my husband watched Darth Vader. They have a whole thing when Darth Vader, comes on to Batu, which I definitely recommend going and seeing. It's very cool. It's like a whole little mini show. Well, my husband and I were kind of split up at that point. He was going to do something and I was going to do something. And he told me, he was like, I ran into Luke. He said, and I told Luke, like, hey, Vader's on planet. Keep your eyes about you or whatever. I was like, what did he say? And he goes, he just like moved his robe and showed me his lightsaber and just went, I got it. And like kept going. It was so cool. So it was just fun. I love the fact that they had those original trilogy characters. I'm curious if they'll eventually bring that over to Batu, but it was very nice to see. It was such a cool like break from what I'm used to over there. I loved every second of that. We did
Yeah,
also
well,
and do what?
before you go on,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
a big fan of the original trilogy too, since that's
same,
what I grew up on.
same.
And friend of the podcast, Dewey, he has advocated for that on this podcast to get the other characters over on the East Coast. So especially now
Yeah,
that he's living in Orlando, and he posts ever like, "Oh yeah, got off work today, went to Epcot,
you
got off
know,
work today, went to Galaxy's Edge for a bit
went
to
to
wander
studios.
around." Yeah. So,
That's so
but
cool.
so I messaged him. I said, "Hey, do you see what's happening in Disneyland?" He's like, "Yeah, but it's Disneyland." I was like, "Well, I can arrange for a trip out there for you. You know that." So,
You're like,
um,
I got you covered.
yeah. But he or well, the one thing you have to be careful of, Princess Leia, she never once listened to her dad, so be careful with that. She's not a great role
That's
model for
true.
that.
That's true.
Never.
Well, that was very me. A little bit
See,
of a
that's
smart
why you're.
aleck.
Yeah. So, and my daughter's right up there with it, so I fully
Uh-huh.
understand. Every year for like birthday, Christmas, whatever. It's like, so what do you want, Daddy? I want a little girl who listens to her daddy.
I want
That's
a
what I
little
want
girl
as
that
my
listens to her.
gift.
I
It's
love
like, no,
that.
what do you really want? I'm like, no, that's what I really want.
That is the gift
Please
that
just
keeps
listen
on
to me.
giving that you could give to me. Oh, and then just a quick note, one of the things we also got to do on our first day in Disneyland was we got to go on a guided tour, which was the Women Who Make the Magic tour. I actually don't think they're offering it anymore. We went on one of the last days, but that was so just unbelievably special to get to experience as somebody who has always really, oops, sorry, somebody who's always really loved the history of these parks and how special all of that is, and to get to not only do that but to focus on so many of the women that were so impactful was just so great. We had this lovely tour guide who just did such a fabulous job. She was so knowledgeable and so passionate about what she was telling us. She pointed out lots of windows on Main Street, gave us a lot of background. I mean, going all the way back to Lily and Disney, which was so cool. We also got to see an original Small World doll that was
Oh
originally
wow.
supposed to be put, yeah, he was supposed to be in the clock. The one he was going to be one of the
Hmm.
figures that came out because I guess they had made extras and he just didn't fit in there. But they like brought him out. We all got to see him and take pictures with him, which was so cool. But if you are at all interested in Disney history, take one of these tours. Like, set aside the time. Those guides are so knowledgeable and so passionate. They love to talk to you, they love to share with you, and they are so excited to have other people on those tours that also love this stuff. It was so much fun. She was so helpful and so knowledgeable and happy to like give her time and chat with us even afterwards. She was great.
I've done several tours, both at Disneyland and Walt Disney World, and we have a whole podcast episode with our friend Amanda talking
Yep.
about this stuff. So yes, I fully recommend, especially if you've been there, done that at one of the Disney
Mhm.
parks, do the tours because it's an
Do the
extra.
tour.
Been there, well, haven't done that yet. So, and you get a
Ooh,
cool pin, collectible.
even if you're just like an operation nerd and you want to like know more about how things run, things like the Keys to the Kingdom tour and
Oh
stuff,
yeah,
so cool. So cool to see and
utilidors,
to know.
utilidors.
Those utilidors, man, those are very cool. You know, I've never been in the utilidors. Isn't
Well,
that
we got to fix
weird?
that.
I know. I was telling my husband that I was like, we are going to have to take that Keys to the Kingdom tour. You know that, right? And he's like, yeah, I know. So, but yes, that's my little note on tours. Some people shy away from it because they feel like it's time away from your vacation. No, gives you a chance. You take things a little bit more slowly and you just get to learn so much.
It's an enhancement of your vacation.
I would agree. I would absolutely agree.
All
So,
right,
should we talk DCA?
absolutely.
Oh, I love DCA. I feel like this new iteration of World of Color was really undersold to me. And it ended up being maybe my favorite nighttime spectacular I did the whole time I was there. And which is crazy to say because one of the reasons we went this year at all was because of Paint the Night. And I loved Paint the Night. I have wanted to see Paint the Night for a literal decade. I was so happy to see it. I even got to watch it like front row on my last night there, which was so magical. But oh my gosh, World of Color is so beautiful. I was completely taken aback even with this newest iteration of how gorgeous it was. I'm also a big Muppets girl. The fact that the Muppets do the opening safety warning was pretty great. I loved every second of that. But yeah, it was beautiful. We did it. We ended up doing it twice because I had told my husband, I was like, I have to go see that again. I have to sit through it one more time. Oh,
And I'm not sure if it's still offered or who it's for,
mhm.
but my first visit out there, I stayed at the Grand Californian,
Yes.
and the room that I had access to the rooftop. There's like a little area that your key could go up to a little rooftop, and it
Oh,
overlooks Disney California Adventure, and you can see the like lagoon where World of Color is. So you can watch it from the rooftop there.
oh, that's cool.
Now, I did
That would
not
be.
because I didn't fully adjust the time. So it was like midnight East Coast time whenever I
Yeah,
was
I
out
was gonna
there
say
that it
that's
went
late
on.
for you.
It's like, all right, I'm
You're
bed.
like, I
But
gotta sleep.
my room still overlooked the Pixar. Well, no, it's not Pixar Pier. It's now where the like older attractions are with the silly symphony swings. So
No,
more
it
along
is.
that around the is it that whole thing?
It's so big, or like Paradise Garden.
Paradise Gardens, that's
Yeah,
it. There was more along the Paradise Gardens area that I overlooked, but Mickey's or Goofy's Fly School and
yeah.
stuff like that were like right outside my window, and
Oh, that's
so
fun.
I could see the well. It was back then. It was the California Screamin', which was a great name as
Yes,
well, instead of the
such a good
Incredicoaster.
name.
But I
Yes.
that's where my room was, so I could sort of see the lagoon thing from there. But if you went up the top, you had a really good view of the whole thing. So there's my suggestion: is stay on property.
Yeah, that's such a good tip, which we'll talk about it more, I'm sure, in a second. I know that they've kind of taken the incentive away, but man, just for convenience sake and like viewing area sake, totally worth it. Totally, totally
Good.
worth it.
Yeah.
So, I also got to do Incredicoaster at night, which I am a big roller coaster person. My husband is not as much. He likes a roller coaster, but only if it's like really, really themed. So, like Big Thunder Mountain, loved Big Thunder Mountain. Hyperspace Mountain, he was all about it. Incredicoaster to him seemed kind of whatever. So I got to go on it. I did it twice. I did it at night, and then I did it like first thing in the morning. I jumped in the single rider line when it opened.
Yay, single
Um,
rider lines.
I love single rider lines. Especially at Disney. Disney really does a good job of like moving those single rider lines through.
And Disneyland
But
has a couple extras.
yes, they do. Yes, definitely study up on those single rider lines before you go because it can make or break whether or not you get on an attraction sometimes depending on
Or
the day.
ask your travel advisor. We'll tell you
Yeah,
all about them.
I will happily give you
But
a list of all of the single rider lines. But at a
the
coaster at
Incredicoaster. Oh,
night, everything.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
The well,
gosh.
one, it is one of the smoothest roller coasters I have ever been
Yes.
on. That
Yes.
it goes fast. It has some get a lot of for those who are roller coaster enthusiasts. There's
Yeah.
airtime, especially little bumps at
Lots
the
of
end.
airtime.
It's very similar to the ending of Slinky Dog Dash, where you do the ups and downs.
Yeah.
The lift hill whenever you go. Well, one, it's the magnetic launch,
Yeah.
like catapult launch type thing.
Yeah.
Um, what are they like inductor magnets, whatever that push
It's
you
something
along.
like that. It's like a induction magnet that like
And
shoots you
that's
out.
it.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's so cool because you're in the bay.
You're right on top of the water. Yeah.
Yeah. That was so neat. I loved that. And at
But then there's a
night, like
lift hill.
it
Yeah.
lights up, which was cool, that little area.
Then there's a lift hill. And as you're going up, you look off to your left. And you not only, and again, this is a great thing about the size and location of everything at Disneyland is you not only get to look over Disney California Adventure, but you look a little bit further and there's Disneyland that you're
Yeah.
seeing from a much higher,
Vantage point.
vantage point. Thank you. I was going to say a higher height, but like
Yeah.
this doesn't sound good. Um,
It's so
and
cool.
you can see the Matterhorn there. You can see Big Thunder Mountain. Did I took some pictures up there? Well, I didn't take pictures. They magically appeared on my phone somehow because I
They
would
just
not do that.
miraculously appeared. I
Is
love
that
that.
legal?
That
I
was
don't know.
so cool.
They don't. But in looking at the pictures, like, oh, I can see this, and I can see this, and I can see this. And oh, if I zoom in, I can see. So I love doing
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Kind of like when you go on Expedition Everest and you look over and you can see Tower of Terror
And you can see
and
Spaceship
Spaceship
Earth
Earth.
there. And if
Yeah.
you look behind you, you can see the Contemporary and Bay Lake Tower.
Yes, you can. I love that's one of my favorite things to do, but I've also ridden
Mhm.
that roller coaster a lot. But
That
yes,
is like
I loved it.
that's part of the reason why I ride it is because I have my camera out and I'm taking pictures of those things. And if you
Yes.
sit in the if you get front seat, the view from the very front when you stop on Expedition Everest, I got that front seat once, just happened to get it. I was like,
Hmm.
this is when does this happen?
Yeah.
And
It
if
is
you're
a
sitting in the back,
literal
you don't see that
vista.
view.
Like
Oh, so gorgeous.
it's
I have
so
video of it the
cool.
one time that I was recording it and we went to the front and I was in the front whenever I did it and you hear me like, oh wow. And I was like, it's like I didn't expect this.
Like not even thinking about the tracks, but you're like, holy cow, it's so cool though. It's really cool. But yeah, I loved getting to do that. Like specifically at night with like all of Pixar Pier lit up is so pretty and so special. Loved every second of that. Also, I recommend riding it at night because a lot of the effects that they have now that it's in Coaster, a lot of the effects that they have in the tunnels are a lot more vibrant at night. So I just think overall it's a better ride experience.
The
And
screaming
then
tubes, as they called them,
yes, exactly.
that are there
Um,
because it kind of keeps the noise from going outside the park and redirects it in, but it also enhances it on from the inside, so you hear that more screaming, which just builds the whole the
yes.
kinetics and the feeling of it of excitement.
Yeah, the thrill of it all feels way
Hmm.
greater because of it. It's cool. San Francisco was a sleeper hit for us. What a cool little immersive area with like incredible food. There's so much good food in the San Francisco themed area. That was so much fun, which we also love Big Hero 6 in our house. So that was really
Yeah,
nice.
I was
And then I don't even do
just
what?
before they we were out there just before they did the conversion over to the San Francisco. So
Yes.
again, more reason to go back.
Yeah, it was just so cool. Like it still feels very like authentic to the park, but that theming was such a slam dunk. It
Hmm.
works perfectly. And like I said, I mean, so much good food there. We had the quesadilla tacos. We had my husband had the vidya ramen that was so good. I had this like delicious chicken katsu bowl that was amazing. I mean, we didn't eat a bad thing the whole time we were there. And then I
That's
don't think I even put this in my notes, but I think it goes without saying, Carland.
oh,
Oh,
Cars Land's amazing.
oh my gosh.
Radiator
I
Springs.
loved it.
Oh, the Radiator Springs Racers. It's test track, but so much better.
But 1,000 times, like I was excited to go on racers, but I wouldn't say that I was like chomping at the bit or anything because I've done test track, I don't know, 100 times. It just didn't really like occur to me. As soon as we got into that queue, I was like, oh, this is going to be something. Like this is going to be so cool. and it was so so good. I would say even the actual racing part is so thrilling and fun. It was a blast. I loved getting to do racers.
The
That was
added little
amazing.
bit of competition that Kennywood, the local amusement park in Western Pennsylvania,
Mhm.
we have a roller coaster called the Racers. That
Yeah.
they're two cars. They go side by side, and you know it's one track that you switch sides whenever you are on it. So you start on one side, end on the other. But the tracks are all parallel the whole time,
Mhm.
and there's a little bit of taunting that oh, we're ahead of you, nah, 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 nah," that whole
Yes.
thing. You get that little bit of competition on Radiator Springs Racers, which just adds to it.
Oh, it's so fun. And like everyone gets into it. Like we're sitting there staring at the car behind us and like pretending to like rev our engine. Like it was so much fun. So I did get to win both times too, which I always appreciate. That was really fun. But yeah,
Driving
I
skills.
loved racers. That was so fun. Radiator Springs Racers was a big stick out to me. And then funnily enough, I had so much fun on web slingers.
And
I
then Avengers Campus.
Yes, I loved it. I know it's gotten kind of mixed reviews from people. I think people were expecting a little bit more. I actually think it's perfect. The pre-show is so cute and funny, and I love seeing our little Spider-Man. He's just so sweet. That was so fun, and like the way that the ride vehicle moves through everything, like all of your show scenes is so fun. And it's just the interactive nature of it was fun. I was also there with my husband and some of our really close friends, which makes that competition even more fun. My friend Peter, oddly enough, super, super good at this game. Go figure. His arms are also crazy long. Maybe that's why. But that was so much fun. And then those little spider bots are all throughout the land and like various states, which is so cool. But yeah, that ended up being one of my favorite things I did in that whole park. And then we somehow ended up on Soarin' like three times. I'm not sure how that happened, but my husband is now converted and loves Soarin'. It was also Soarin' over California, which this might be a
Yes.
hot take. It's my favorite. I love
Oh,
Soarin' over California. I don't know
it
why.
is. I like it. There's less CGI, which
Yes.
makes it feel because it was made before CGI was actually that good. Um,
Yes.
so it makes it feel a little bit more authentic. The,
I
the
think
first time
you're
I did
right.
Soaring Around the World, the first scene when you're going over the Arctic and okay, the polar bears like stand up. Okay, that could have been a reaction from a helicopter flying over, but then the whale
Right.
jumps out, then the iceberg breaks, and the Taj Mahal thing just it's a little bit too cartoonish for me.
It takes you out of it a little bit, I
And
think. I agree
yeah,
with you. I think it's cool. I love the smells in Soarin' around the world, but every time I get the opportunity to ride Soarin' over California again, I take it immediately,
another thing is that it takes you to my favorite place in the world,
which
Yosemite.
is, yes,
That especially
that's,
because my dad and I have done hiking out there, and you go over like Yosemite Falls, and you can look to the left and you see the Yosemite Trail, and it's a
yeah,
zigzag thing. It's like that's where we and my dad always would point that to my mom, like that's where we were hiking, and
that's
then you
so
turn and
cool.
you see Half Dome, which we've hiked to the top of that, and oh, so the most majestic place I have ever been.
It's so
So that
beautiful.
that's part of it. And then going over Palm Beach with the golf course, and then the fighter jets to come by, and the helicopter that
That's,
takes off from the aircraft carrier in San Diego, and the
that's so cool.
just so much stuff there that it just hits me.
I love it. It is for iterate that ride. I am excited to do Soarin'
The
over
new one,
America.
yeah.
I saw one spoiler on accident and it looks very cool, but
I'm
we'll see.
we're not going this summer, and I don't think it's going to be there when we get there in December. So I might just have to break down and the watch on YouTube, but I will
I think
still.
that's,
I'm so excited even just to watch it on YouTube.
I am too. I'm just excited to see what they do. I think it's going to be really
Hmm.
interesting. I've got a trip. I'm supposed to be in Orlando in the fall, and I'm hoping maybe it'll still be there because I would make a special trip to Epcot for that. I love Soarin'. As I get older, the more I'm like, yeah, no, this hits like every single time. It's so fun.
Hmm.
So we definitely love Soarin'. It was just funny. I every time it was like every single time we were in that park, I was like, "Do you want to go do Soarin' again?" My husband was like, "Yeah, let's do it." So, did a lot of soaring. But no, I really, really enjoy DCA so much. We braved Grizzly River Run. I was very proud of us. Man, that thing, it's like Kali River Rapids. You either go get off dry as a bone or you are absolutely soaked. And there is a geyser at the end that either hits you or it doesn't. And it hit us. So that was our cue to go take our little midday break. But I loved California Adventure. I would go back and just maybe spend like a whole day in that park and really like sink
Yeah,
my teeth into it.
highly
It was
underrated.
very highly underrated. So fun. So fun to just walk around. Like
Yeah.
so much to just see. So loved
Did you
every
ride
second of that.
Mission? Do you ride Mission Breakout?
I did. Oh my God, I can't believe I didn't mention Mission Breakout. Yes, I did ride Mission Breakout and I love that. That pre-show is so cool. I
Comparison to Tower
Tower.
of Terror
Okay, well that's not a
reference?
fair question because Tower of Terror is probably my favorite Disney ride ever
So,
because I love it because it's spooky and it's weird and it really speaks to that part of me. Um, I love the theming of the Tower of Terror. I love the Twilight Zone. I love all that. I love that it's Rod Serling and the whole nine. But man, that queue at Mission Breakout, I didn't think they could get as detailed and interactive as Tower of Terror feels on the East Coast, but oh my gosh, it like as you're walking through like Tannelier Tavon's collection, it feels so real, which
and we have a little bit of a technical difficulties that Elaine's microphone just died on us. Don't worry, she's still there. She's coming back.
Can you hear me?
Now we got her back.
Sorry about that. My bad. I think my battery died. But yes, I loved every second of that. Walking through the Tannelier Tavon collection, I was shocked at how immersive it felt. It was so cool. Every second of it was just so cool. I loved it.
No, my wife did not, but of course she's never
Really?
seen any of the Guardians of the Galaxy
Oh,
movies, so she has absolutely no idea who anybody is.
yes.
Personally, I thought that the Mission Breakout was funny. That the
Yes.
little scene, you're going up and down, and you get these little segments of the Guardians of the Galaxy fighting the bad guy and everything, and
I love that.
Drax, his comments. I love him.
I love
Both
Drax
there
commentary.
and Cosmic Rewind. He is
He's so funny.
oh so literal. I love it. He's my favorite.
He's the best. He is the best. We did get to, I made a point to find the little Figment Easter egg as well in the queue. He's a little hard to see, but you can find him if you look. So we at one point were like letting people go in front of us. I was like, I'm sorry, I gotta find a little purple dragon. Let me take care of that really fast. But I really loved it. I was really impressed at the rocket animatronic and all of that. I don't think I was expecting it to feel as immersive as it did, and it really really did. It was so fun and so cool.
Oh, did you ride the monorail?
Of course I did. That was an experience. I will say, I think I prefer Walt Disney World's monorail to Disneyland's, but it was very cool. Like it felt very historic to ride on it. I think Bob Gurr tells a story about like the day that they opened the monorail, putting Richard Nixon on it with his family, and then as soon as it starts to leave the station, realizing that Secret Service was not on the monorail with him and just like sitting there
Kidnapping the president,
panicking for
or
the
well, vice president then.
yes. Just like Bob Gurr's like, yeah, I was standing there fully panicking for the entirety of the route, being like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, I hope he comes back okay. But it was cool. We got to ride it into Disneyland. And I will say it is worth it just to go over Autopia. That was really cool.
And that's the neat thing that it's more, it gives you like, it goes over, so it goes from near the Disneyland Hotel
Mhm.
into like sort into Tomorrowland, like the border of Tomorrowland and Fantasyland. But as you're
Yes.
coming in, you get to like go over some of the land. So it's like gives you that preview.
It's
which I
cool.
think is so cool. Which we didn't get to do the last time. We took it. We were in the park. We took it out and went to downtown Disney for a bit, and we went to come back
Hmm.
on. It had malfunctioned, and we could not get back on for the ride back in. Like,
Oh,
but
well, you got to do it.
I've
It
done it
is
before,
very
so I've done
cool.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was so fun. Like getting to go through the Esplanade and then coming around. It was very, very cool. But it is if you are again, if you're a Disney World person, it's very different. It
Hmm.
feels different. The seating is different. It's just kind of a different experience, but it was very cool to
It's
just
made
get
more
to
to be an
look.
attraction because the seats face out.
Yes.
It's
That's
like, hey, look at
exactly
this.
I think that's exactly what it was. I was explaining that to my husband. I was like, this is very cool. I said, but this feels like an attraction more than transportation, whereas Disney World is very much transportation minded. Although you do get a cool tour of Epcot if you take it into Epcot.
And you go through the contemporary, which is still my favorite thing.
I mean, heaven,
Although
that's the best.
Disneyland does go through the Grand Californian, sort of, but it's like
Sort
goes through
of.
like a tunnel. You don't get actually to see it. Although
Yes.
you like go over it a little bit. But it does go
Yeah,
through Disney California Adventure, sort of through the front,
it
which is
does. I
also
was gonna
neat.
say it does cross through there as well. So, but it is very, very cool. I think everyone should do it at least once. It was so fun.
Oh yeah,
Getting
it's
to like
worth
go
it.
through Tomorrowland was so cool. So,
Do you want to jump
highly
to
recommend.
downtown Disney or do the hotel next?
Yeah, we can talk downtown Disney. I don't have a ton to say. Downtown Disney, I mean, coming from Disney Springs, it is very different, but I feel like it's very manageable. It's smaller, and it's just like one straight line. It is from Disneyland Hotel all the way to the Esplanade. But there's some really good restaurants. We actually, our departure day, we went and had brunch or lunch at Ralph Brennan's Jazz Kitchen.
We ate there
Um,
too.
so good. We I had shrimp and grits. I go figure, I had shrimp and grits twice on this trip. You can take me out of the
Yep.
South, but man, I'm gonna find shrimp and grits somewhere. But that was delicious. We had a lovely server. Like it was just nice. That was the other thing too, is being in California, eating outside is just so much more accessible than it is in Florida all the time.
Yeah.
So it was so nice to just like have this beautiful meal sitting outside and people watching. Their world of Disney is like very easy to navigate, a ton of stuff in there. They just have like little vendors kind of all throughout, and like fun little stores. It doesn't feel as different shopping wise to Disney Springs. There's just less like smaller vendors. So it was cool. It was crazy to me how like little and manageable it felt, which was nice.
Yeah, there's not like side streets and okay, I'm going back here and getting there's no way to get lost. It's just a
Yeah.
thoroughfare
There's
to go
not
through.
multiple neighborhoods or anything like that, like there is
Yeah.
at Springs. It's just very straightforward, but a really good option, especially if you're staying on property to like go and dine and everything. I kept seeing, which I can't believe I didn't think of this. I kept seeing people that were staying at the Grand Californian come out to that Starbucks,
Hmm.
like in their pajamas, like picking up their coffee and then like going back into their hotel. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think of this.
Oh yeah, the Grand California is right there. It has an extra little entrance right into Disney Springs, which is really
Yes,
cool.
which is so nice. But yeah, it was so pretty and quaint and easy and that straight shot right over to the Esplanade. I love that.
And with the food, that there's a little bit more of a Southern California or Tex-Mex like flair to the food down there. I want to say that there's a little more of like the Tex-Mex staples. Like that's like where
Like a
like the
Cali Mex.
yeah, Cali
Don't
Mex.
say
That's probably
Tex-Mex to those
yeah.
Californians. They don't like it when
Sorry.
it's
Yeah, Cali Mex. Thank you.
yes. Yeah, they have
Talking to a foodie here, so
what's it called? It used to be Uva Bar and now it's Centrico's. They have like a whole like Tulum inspired restaurant like right in the middle of one of the walkways, which is kind of cool. They have a walk-up window where you can get like paletas, like the ice pops and stuff like that. I would agree. Very much like a Cali's influence throughout the whole thing,
hmm
which
still
is
get your normal
cool.
burgers and whatever else for those who are don't quite like a little bit of kick to your food or just want to
Yeah.
have the
The
staples,
Black
but
Tap,
they
you can
have a
get
little extra.
burgers and fries. Do
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, just get the regular stuff that you're going to used to be having in a
Yeah.
amusement park.
There is a corn dog stand and a churro stand down there too. I can't vouch for them, but they do exist.
Yes.
So, yeah,
And
that might have
now,
been the full highlight of my entire trip was my Disneyland. All
and
right.
now the hotels. We mentioned there's a Disneyland hotel, and then the new villas at the Disneyland hotel. There's the Grand
That,
California, which we talked about, which I
yes.
think it's very much a combination. If the Wilderness Lodge and the Grand Floridian had a kid.
Yes.
That I walked into the
Exactly.
Grand California the first time, I was like, I need a suit or a
You know,
tuxedo.
it feels so
I feel
fancy.
underdressed. So amazing. And then there's
It
also
was
the Pittsburgh
cool.
Pixar Place, which they were just changing last time we were out there. So I stayed at the Paradise Pier Hotel before.
Hmm.
I haven't been out there since they did the full changeover. They were doing the
Yeah,
changes and repainting it the last time we were there. So
sure.
again, another reason for another trip out there. I've heard
Definitely.
good things about Pittsburgh Place.
That's where our friends stayed. They stayed at the Pix Place Hotel and they loved it. They said it was really pretty and like all the theming was really great. They saw, I can't remember the name of the character from Soul, but he was playing piano in the lobby at one
Oh,
point.
Joe,
Joe, that's what it is. I wanted to say Sam. I was like, I don't think it's Sam. Yeah, he
that's
was playing in the
Casablanca.
lobby. That was so cool. They loved every second of that. Like it's such a neat hotel. That retheming has been such a hit. And it also has its own entrance into
California
Pixar
Adventure, yeah.
Pier. Yeah, so cool.
And it's Sam's the piano player in Casablanca.
That's what
Like,
I'm thinking
play it
of. I'm
again,
thinking of
Sam.
playing it
Play
again,
his.
Sam. Play as time goes by. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. I was like, I know a Sam that plays piano. Excellent. That's too funny. We had the pleasure of staying at the Disneyland Hotel by per my request. I've just always wanted to stay there. It's that opened not directly with the theme park. It was actually owned by an outside contractor
Mhm.
before the Disney company actually bought it. But it's just so cool. It's so original and historical. They've obviously built up a lot of it. The pool has a monorail slide, which is so neat, and has like what looks like the vintage Disneyland sign up at the top. This is also where the original Trader Sam's is located, over by the pool. They have a whole Tangaroa Terrace area, which I loved. I ate that up. It was so fun. That was actually our first stop when we got there. Our room wasn't quite ready, so we went over to Tangaroa Terrace and had a seat at the bar and ordered a couple of like tiki cocktails and some snacks and just enjoy. They had live music out there as well. It was just like a beautiful, perfect blue sky California day. Having a Trader Sam's cocktail and a tiki mug. I mean, that's all I've ever wanted. So it was so fun and just so beautiful. But that whole hotel, everything is so mid-century modern and fun. Each tower is named after one of the original lands at Disneyland. We got to stay in the Adventureland Tower, which was very nice for me. I do love Adventureland very much.
Which one do you check in? Is that the Fantasyland? I
You check into
believe.
the Fantasyland Tower. Yes,
And
the
I
Fantasy
stayed at
Tower is like the main one.
Yeah, I stayed at the Frontierland Tower whenever I was there.
Oh, like back behind the pool?
Yeah, and so I looked
Yeah.
out like right over the pool, like from behind the monorail stuff, which that is in Elaine's was on the side of the monorail looking it over to the pool.
Yes.
Hers was looking directly across at the new towers, um, where the DVC stuff is with the villas.
Yes. The villa's
But
over there.
yeah, the pool there with the theming of the monorails is so cool. And
It's
in
so
the
neat.
Frontierland Tower, in the like little when you walk in the bottom floor, there is a like a model of I don't know if it's still there, but whenever I was there, it was a model of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
Yeah.
And
I think
so
it's
like
still there because Adventureland Tower has models of the animal animatronics and the Jungle Cruise and like the
mhm.
boats. It's so that I think that was something that really spoke to me. I love when Disney things are themed to the parks. I think that that is so cool and so fun. So getting to like walk through and I mean even like in the lobby, if you go into a public bathroom in any of those towers, the wallpaper is all attraction posters from that land, which was such
Yeah.
a like little touch that I was obsessed with. But a beautiful hotel, so much to see and do. We also got to eat at, or we had a nightcap with our friends at the Broken Spell Lounge, which is a little newer. It's a Sleeping Beauty themed little like cocktail lounge. It's kind of out of the way. I want to say it's over in like that Villas Tower as well. But so cute, such a like good spot to just go and grab a cocktail and have a take a little break. We each ordered like different themed cocktails too, which was so fun. But just very cute, very niche and neat. We loved it though. The proximity to everything was really, really nice, which you can get even closer staying at the Grand Californian. That was so lovely to just be able to walk. I went back and forth about staying off property, and I'm really glad that we decided to stay on because we didn't, it was so different from Disney World in that we didn't have to take any transportation anywhere. It was
Yeah, we
just
stayed.
a walk.
My first trip was Grand Californian. Second trip, I did a split stay with Disneyland Hotel and Paradise Pier.
Mhm.
And then third trip with my wife, she was like, let's just save some money. Let's stay off property. And we were still like a half mile away. So we're still close.
Yeah.
And we, it was a 15, maybe a little bit farther, like 15, 20-minute walk to the parks every
Yeah.
morning. So it wasn't bad. Um,
No.
but definitely I prefer staying on property. And the extra pool by the villas, that's really cool too. The pallet pool and everything. And I
Yes.
this is a while ago that I talked to our boss Donna about the
Mhm.
different hotels out at Disneyland. So if you want to get a whole bunch bigger thing, she talked about the whole previous ownership and a couple like another book that she had that
Oh yeah.
and like old pictures she's seen. It's like, oh, this is where this was, and this is where the little lake used to be, where you could rent boats and drive them around, and
Yes.
all
It had
kinds
like
of
its
cool
own
stuff.
harbor.
Little marina, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's so cute. I love that. Yeah, that was so fun for me to just kind of get to walk around and be able to like see where things used to be and the things that have changed over the years. It's very cool. I would say if it's going to make or break your budget and you need to stay off property, you can totally do that. We can happily give you some really good recommendations for that as well. But oh my gosh, if you can swing it, staying on property is so lovely.
Oh, two other things about the Disneyland Hotel. In the lobby, when you check in, did you see the seats?
Oh, I did. That was like the first thing I clocked. As soon as I walked in, I was like, I know that there's teacup seats right there. And I freaked out.
The seats are like look like the teacup attraction vehicles that you ride in. And
They're so fun.
in your room on the headboard,
Yes. Oh, that was like, again, the first thing I did when we walked into the room. Yes, there is a switch on the headboard for all the Disneyland hotel rooms. I don't believe they have them in the villas. The villas look a little bit different, but it lights up and it looks like fireworks in your headboard and it plays A Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes, like a little lullaby. It's so, so cute.
so yeah, there's a little fiber optic thing that
Mhm.
the lights come up in, so it looks like fireworks are going off. That I actually found that by mistake or by accident. That I was it was like the last night of my stay, and I again East Coast thing. I woke up super early and um hit a button that was right by the bed, and I saw like,
Mhm.
wait, what? How did I not know this?
Probably
And
trying to turn a light on.
yeah, I got so this is like 3 in the morning. I got up, got my video camera, went back, and I made sure that I videoed that so I
Mhm.
didn't forget before the morning
It's
whenever
so
I
cool.
left. So it's like, yeah,
It's so
definitely.
cool. It's just so special. It was so great to stay there and to get to like soak all that in. So I have been told though the next time my husband is very adamant he really wants to do Grand Californian, which is
It's
very
worth
up
it.
his alley. So that made a lot of sense. So yeah, loved it. Loved every second of it.
And travel tip time.
Yes. Okay, so mine is a little funny and something that people probably wouldn't think of, or they might even be like, duh. Man, if you are going to Disneyland, especially specifically, utilize mobile order as much as you can. Those, especially if you're if you're going at like a little bit of a busier time, which the weekend we were there was like inexplicably so busy. I had like tried to do my research and big time, but it's just sort of is how it worked out. Those mobile order times can get really long. Do you know that you want like Harbor Galley chocolate chip cookies to eat while you're watching Fantasmic? Go ahead and put that order in and pick that return time in like first thing in the morning because those mobile order lines get really long and then those food lines get really long. And if you put in that order, you're not going to get charged until you actually click on the thing that says like, I'm here, make my food. So it's almost like saving your place in line for later. Would highly recommend that to everyone. Someone gave me that tip and I was like, yeah, okay. And then when we actually got there, I was like, oh my gosh, no, I get it now. I 100% get it now. Because especially if you're rope dropping, as soon as those places start to open, you're going to be so hungry. Just start putting in those orders as quickly as you can. And obviously, like you may not know what you want later on in the day. That's okay. If you have an idea, put it in early. You can always cancel it. You will not be charged. Also, there's always a lot of discourse about like how many days, how many days. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I could do all of Disneyland in one day. If it's your first trip, I would actually recommend no less than 3 days. That gives you time to focus on each park and have like a split day if you want it. I would get Park Hopper for all three also and just do a morning in one, an evening in the other, and then flip. And then that last day, hit everything you want to do one more time or anything that you might have missed because it was closed for whatever reason. You need at least 3 days on that first trip for sure. I would even say four because we did four and it was perfect.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Big time.
Or do 5 or more.
Or five. If you can swing it, do five.
Yeah.
I love it.
So for
All
my
right.
travel tip, so this is to all the Walt Disney World aficionados out there, don't overlook Disneyland Resort. That Disneyland has a lot of attractions that you won't find at Walt Disney World, as Elaine mentioned a few of them there. The one or ones if you've old enough to remember them, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, Cinder
I
or
was
Snow
gonna
White,
say
yeah,
R.I.P. Toad Hall.
the Incredicoaster and Cars Land stand out as being worth the trip. And even the attractions that are at both, you'll still see the differences as we mentioned. So we said about It's a Small World being a little bit longer at Disneyland, and the facade is so amazing, especially during the holidays. The Haunted Mansion, you actually get to go down in the stretching room at
That was
Disneyland
so
instead of going
cool.
up. Pirates of
That
the
was so cool.
Caribbean, it's longer out in Disneyland. And you go down 2 waterfalls. Plus, at the end,
Matt,
you go up a waterfall to get out.
yes. Matt, do you know how upset I was that this was down while we were there? It's down for refurb. It literally went down like 2 days before we got there. I was broken. I wanted to do Pirates so badly.
Another reason for it going out again.
I have to go back.
But as we chronicled here, the most striking thing and the biggest reason to go out to Disneyland is the overall feeling and atmosphere. That Walt Disney World's magical, it's stunning, it's
Yes.
immersive, it's sometimes overwhelming with its size.
Yes.
Disneyland, quaint and charming, it feels different, it's special. There's that special
Mhm.
reverence that Walt walked here that you get from the cast members, especially the ones who have been there for a while. And that in of itself is why you should visit Disneyland. You
Mhm.
cannot match that feeling anywhere else, even at Walt Disney World.
Yep.
And go listen to some of the other podcasts we've done about Disneyland, especially Donna, our boss. She talks glowingly about it. Same idea. So,
hmm
but
It's it hits you totally differently. I don't know how to
yeah,
explain it, but it hits you in a totally different spot.
yeah.
It's
But now,
so
everyone
good.
else out there, if you have a destination or an experience that you'd like to have us discuss on the Where Yinz Goin podcast, or if you'd like to share your favorite place to visit or have a travel tip, feel free to contact me. I'd love to hear your feedback and ideas. Elaine, how can people get a hold of you?
So you can actually find me on Instagram at Dreams by Design Elaine. That's Elane. And then on Facebook, you can find me at Dreams by Design Travel with Elaine. And then you can always email me if you have any questions or looking for a trip quote at Elaine at Dreams by Design or Elaine at dreamsbydesign.com. Also keep eyes on that Instagram now I'm home and uploading and organizing all of that the hours of footage that I took. I got some fun stuff coming on the social media, so come give me a follow.
And even look at her old stuff because this is coming out in mid-June. So, she might have already
Oh,
had some
even
posted.
better.
So,
I'm gonna parcel all that stuff out for as long as I can.
keep look at her old stuff, look at the new stuff. It's
Yes.
coming.
Feel free to take a look.
So here at the podcast, we are on Facebook and X at Where Yinz Goin, Yinz, Y-I-N-Z, Goin, G-O-I-N with the apostrophe and the question mark. Email Matt, M-A-T-T, at dreamsbydesigntravel.com. All this information is going to be in the episode description. So if you want to contact us to book a trip or have any questions, you know how to find us. Um, I know it broke up a little bit on my end, so I don't know if that was what got recorded, but now you have all the spellings down, so you don't have to worry about any of that, or if you missed any bits of that, it's there. So go look it up.
Yes. Yes.
And this ain't Elaine's first time, so you should have it written down already, right?
I
So
know.
it might be someone's first time they're listening, so you never
That's
know.
true. You have to treat every podcast like it's one listener's first go around for sure.
Go back and listen to the other ones too.
Hmm.
Please like, follow, subscribe, leave a review, tell a friend, let other people know all about the fun stuff and the exciting things we're talking about here. And if you do not have fun and you were not intrigued by Elaine's our conversation here with Elaine, then check your pulse.
Yeah.
So, so this ends episode 2 of Elaine's recap of Disneyland
Yeah.
because this is 2 parts.
It's gonna have
Well,
to be two parts.
well, actually, sorry. For those of you listening on the first part, this is the end of part 1.
Yes.
Elaine will be back next week. For those listening on
Yes.
part 2, this is the end of part 2. You had Elaine last week too.
Ooh, time travel.
Now that starts making me think of the timekeeper in Disney. All right, too many
Oh.
sidetracks here. All right, we'll let everyone go here. Please join us next time. We're Hanat Nat. We'll see you later.